It's been a battle for survival for Manly and South in recent seasons, but over 55 years, some mighty struggles between these clubs. Some changes to both teams, and the home side lines up this way. Reeves at fullback, Donald and Hopewati on the wings, McGuinness and McDougall in the centres. Ben Walker comes into the side at 5'8", Ferris at half. Steve Menzies is the lock forward and the captain, with Jensen, Watmough, King, Williamson and Long making up the forward pack. And on the bench, Dawn, Cannings, Shipway, Hamono, their coach, Peter Sharp. The Rabbitohs, a couple of changes for them as well. Merritt at fullback, Chris Walker back into the side. He was out with a hand injury. Bajuri on the other wing. Pookie and Craigie, the centre pairing. Russo and Peters in the halves, with Harrison. Brian Fletcher is the captain in the second row with Justin Smith. Stewart, Walker and Stringer in the front row. And their interchange, Hart, Carney, Minicello and Pulatua. Their coach, Paul Langmack.
Souths have won the toss. The referee is Matt Checkton. Souths have won the toss. They're running with the tide. Right to left, the Rabbits. Weather better suited to Sea Eagles, I would imagine, than to the four-legged furry variety. And we are underway. South Sydney versus Manly. Sounds good, doesn't it? Manly, they come away with the ball off their own try line, and here's Nathan Long with the ball, making a good run, getting it out to the 20-metre line on the first effort of the day. First use of the football goes with Manly, and the second use of the football on their first set is with Jason King. Now John Hopewati decides to go for a run out of dummy half. We will see plenty of that. They've done well on 3 tackles. They're 39 metres away from their line. King takes another hit up, and he is pulled down about 5 metres from halfway. So Manly running from left to right. They're running towards the southern end of the ground. Ben Walker is the 5'8". He puts in the first kick of the game in general play. And it's down there for the fullback to bring it back, and that is Nathan Merritt. And he's tackled just inside the 20-metre line.
Well, actually, I think he's going to play on the wing, Ray. Chris Walker aimed up at fullback. There he is going out of dummy half.
Losing the ball too, Peter. A chance. I'll come back to you. It's with McGuinness, the centre 3/4 for Manly, and Kevin is tackled about 12 metres out. That is a 0 tackle. Manly then, they go across out to the left, and here's Nathan Long straight up the middle, and it requires concentrated defence from Stringer and Fletcher. They hold him down as long as they can. Away it goes for Manly. Out to Ferris in number 7. He wasn't tackled. He tripped over a puddle, I fancy, and he'll play it about 11 metres out from the South Sydney line, and Manly gets a penalty. Well, they'll certainly take the kick, you would think, in conditions such as this.
Well, this is very interesting. It appears as though Chris Walker may have said something.
Why don't you just do your job? You want to play a player short? Your job's to play football. I had a mouthful for 3 consecutive tackles. I put up with it, but for only so long.
So this is for comments, I take it, made by Chris Walker to the referee.
A very inauspicious start for Chris Walker. They're big signings in the off-season. He's been on the sideline for a month with a hand injury, made the first mistake of the game, and has blamed the referee, and now looks like costing his side 2 points, although in these conditions, there's nothing certain about this kick.
Ben Walker.
Right. 10 metres, mate.
One of the 3 brothers. The lone one of them playing with Manly gets a chance to capitalise on his brother's indiscretions, and he raises the flags. 2 points. What value will they prove to be in conditions like this? Andrew Voss is on the sideline having a lovely afternoon.
Yes, exactly. Well, actually, if it stays like this, we won't be too bad, but obviously the rain has done the damage already to the playing surface. You notice plenty of surface water, and the kicking game's all important today. And I've got to say, that is one department Souths fell down very badly last week against the Panthers. So the likes of Willie Peters really have to pick that part of their game up today to have any chance for the Rabbitohs against Manly.
Well, that was beautifully taken by Menzies. I don't know that he thought it was going to drop that short. He goes to ground, the ball hits the sodden turf, bounces up, and he gets a clean catch in it. Well done by Stephen Menzies. And now they are on their second play, and they'll go through the routine they went through on their first set of 6. It proved valuable for them.
And Ray, the other change I was going to mention was the fact that Jason Ferris is named at half, but he will spend most of his time at dummy half, which is where he is at now, and Williamson used as another running forward.
Ben Walker then getting a kick in as Justin Smith tries to charge it down. Going back is Chris Walker now. Let's see what he can do this time. 15 metres out from his line. He's pulled down and tackled. He had to pass a a fitness test before actually being included in the South Sydney 17. They are 22 metres out from the line. In fact, I watched Walker after he played that ball. He had something to say to the touch judge. Russo will play the ball 30 metres out from his line, and the Rabbits now, they come out towards the 40-metre line. They're right in the centre of the park, and it's going up the middle with Shane Walker this time. Merritt, Nathan, though he's wearing number 1, is playing, as Peter said, on the left wing, and it is Chris Walker at fullback as Willie Peters gets away a good kick, and it crosses the sideline 10 metres out from the Manly line. 2-0 to score, a penalty goal basically given by South Sydney to Manly just a couple of minutes back. South Sydney acquainted themselves with the Brookvale Oval surface and the conditions before the game. That was them coming out before the game, practicing their skills that left them in the opening exchanges, unfortunately, and as I said, they conceded 2 points. Here is Hopewadi now. He will do a lot of work from dummy half. Brendan Reeves now, he comes away and gets it 25 metres out from the Manly line. Water spraying up every time a player runs across the turf, and then when tackled, it oozes up and gushes up. And here it is with Manly again, and Ferris unloading, and King is working overtime, and he's proving very, very hard for South to contain. 2 and 3 at every tackle. Now Ferris, he catches the marker going away, and he decides to go himself, turns it back. It was creative from Ferris, and it is Manly 10 metres into South Sydney's territory as the ball goes wide out to Ben Walker, playing in 16. Bumps away from Brian Fletcher, gets a kick off the left foot down to the 10-metre line, and it's South Sydney now with the number 5 bringing it away. That's Ahmed Bajuri.
Quite clever there from Ben Walker. He heard the referee call Brian Fletcher offside, so instead of kicking the football straight away, ran at him trying to draw a penalty. When that wasn't successful, got the left footer away.
Talking of Fletcher, that's him taking it up now, the South Sydney captain. 7 test matches and 12 origin matches for Brian Fletcher as Shane Walker delivers it back to Russo, and he played some lower grade football with the Roosters. He went to Parramatta, now he's with South Sydney, played by him. Now it's Shane Walker giving it off to Stringer, and Paul Stringer playing the ball right in the centre of the ground. 2-0 to score, Manly leading. Fletcher's pass goes off the fingertips of Hookie. It went backwards and Merritt dives on it, and he in turn is dived on by the big frame of John Hopewadi, and the ball is there, and the referee,
Bring it in 10 metres.
the referee is going to order the turnover. Obviously, they lost the count, they lost the script there, as Long takes it up and gets it off and away for Ferris, from one former Shark to another, and Ferris does well, gets it off to Brendan Reeves, and then it's gone across and out to the number 11 for Manly, and that is Tony Jensen, who will play the ball 15 metres into South Sydney's territory. Reeves again gets the ball away, and that is McDougall in 4, tackled over on the eastern side of the ground. So Manly pressing again with this prolific try scorer and captain for them, Menzies, held and forced back just outside the 20-metre point. Tackled there by Shane Walker in company with, I think that's Andrew Hart out there, as Ben Walker puts a kick across. Merritt goes back, marks it on the full-in goal, and will come back to the 20 for the restart. As you can see by those pictures, not very many people prepared to brave these conditions. But those that are here, obviously very ardent followers of both South Sydney and, of course, the Manly Sea Eagles. And South Sydney getting a penalty 30 metres out from their own line, 20 metres in from touch, and that was the reason why.
Yeah, it's a silly play in conditions like this. It's very, very hard to play the ball quickly anyway, so any deliberate attempts to try and slow it down is only giving away territory and possession. Peter Sharp won't be happy with that.
Shane Walker taking the tap, and Brian Fletcher takes it ahead and gets good metres out of it, probably something like 10 to 12 metres. And that's a lot of ground today. Now the 12 is Smith, and he's put down and tackled. Chris Walker's playing in jumper 20. He was always there around the football, looking for a chance. Stringer now takes it ahead for South, and he will play the ball about 17 metres out from the line. A good opportunity here for the red and green. Here's Shane Walker with plenty of numbers running in support. Russo got away. Merritt will score in the corner. Merritt scores for the Rabbitohs. Well, they put their hand up. There was plenty of personnel following the football, and then they had the overlap, and Russo in particular did well for South Sydney.
There was a lot of bodies in motion here, as you see the short ball. All the Manly players had rushed in. There was nobody out wide, and eventually Jamie Russo found the unmarked try scorer. Fairly simple in the end. After some pretty good lead-up play, and as Phil Gould pointed out, some easy meters given through the penalty.
It's the ball from Russo.
Yeah, video referee here was looking for any sort of obstruction because there was a lot of bodies in motion, but I don't think we've got a problem here. It was just the fact the ball wasn't locked up.
Nathan Merritt, he was spoken about in glowing terms just recently by Graham Langland. And it's a try for South Sydney. I don't think there was ever very much doubt about it. And they take the lead at 4 points to 2 after 9 minutes of this game. Justin Smith, the second rower, the former St George Illawarra player, comes from up in the northwest of the state from Narromine. He takes his conversion attempt. He got it beautifully. Has it got the length? No, it dropped short. So 4 points to 2 is the score. South Sydney leading Manly early days at Brookvale. Andrew on the sideline.
And Ray, the try scorer, I can tell you a little bit more about him. He is South Sydney down to his bootstraps. He started playing when he was 4 for the Alexandra Rovers. And these sort of wet days, when you're a kid, you used to love it. Nathan Merritt, look, he's not long out of the park. He's only 19 years of age. And they have already tagged him the best junior at South since Prathan Asta. So plenty to live up to.
Southside bringing it back through Fletcher. And they come in their numbers, the Sea Eagles. They put him down back on the South Sydney 20-metre line. Another of the St George Illawarra players with South these days, Lee Hookey in jumper number 3. And the sound of the whistle gives a penalty to South Sydney. Tap taken quickly by the Rabbits, and Manly had to get back the 10 before they even thought about the tackle. Smith was the runner. Peters gets it away. It's gone out. And Harrison gave it to Chris Walker, and then a good fend by Craigie. See South Sydney make a lot of territory on this set. Played by Owen Craigie. This is Russo, and the 15 going ahead for the Rabbits is Luke Stewart, formerly with the Sharks. A couple of them out there today. Peters turning it back on the inside for big Paul Stringer. And again, Souths are in that position where they can mount an attack. Shane Walker, inside ball to his brother, and Chris Walker is pulled down. Well, that was a try-saving tackle by Brendan Reeves. Walker now puts the grubbing kick in, but it's covered up by Manly. That was a great combination by the Walker brothers, and then an equally great tackle.
Yeah, I like that sort of football in the wet weather. Willie Peters fading across the field, turning big forwards up the middle, then all of a sudden a little trick shot up the middle of the ruck from the two Bronco players, the two brothers. Nearly caught the Sea Eagles napping. That's perfect wet weather football.
And to make matters worse, there's been a knock-on found against Manly. So South, it was Nathan Long who couldn't tie up the football in the tackle.
Yeah, good shot there from Luke Stewart, brought in to start the game in the front row. Both he and Paul Stringer, his front row partner, played all 24 matches for the South Sydney side last season.
Here's Chris Walker coming away from the back of the scrum that time. Peters, now it's away to Fletcher, and again they're there in numbers, and Hopewadi again angles in and takes the ball carrier. He did that earlier, but it backfired. Here's Peters. He tries to beat them. Ben Walker and Hopewadi combined. They're very close to the line. There's the uprights as they go across now for Stringer, and Williamson makes the tackle. It's gone away from Harrison to Chris Walker. He's doing the dancing 10 metres out from the line, and Menzies takes him away. Shane Walker now. And then for Peters, and the pass has been knocked on by Fletcher. Advantage applies. Manly have picked it up, and John Hopewadi will play the ball on 0 tackle.
And in defence close to their line, Manly have pushed John Hopewadi into the centres, pushing Kevin McGuinness out onto the wing. Came in and made a big tackle when needed on that occasion, and came up with the loose ball as Long is smashed. Nearly 30 out from his line.
Fletcher and Shane Walker making the tackle. As Manly now get it out to almost the 40-metre line. That was Jensen, and this is Williamson. And near the halfway line, the Eagles now. They're trailing by 2 as Ferris puts his kick in. Chris Walker has to go back through to his own line. And Walker now confronted by the defence. He beats one, he doesn't beat the second.
Good tactics here also by the Manly coach, Peter Sharp. He's got Ferris in number 7 there, and essentially he is playing halfback. But in the first 20 minutes here, it looks as though he's going to do all the dummy half work and just play with running 6 forwards. Luke Williamson hitting the ball up strongly as well. So in the wet conditions, both teams have come with tactics.
Peters away for Fletcher now. And Fletcher is able to unload. Peters gives it off, and that is Smith, the second row forward, leaving it behind, and it's picked up by Manly. 0 tackle for them, played by Williamson. Menzies then takes the tackle of Fletcher before unloading, and Reeves, I think it is, or is it McDougall, the centre, who's coming away with the ball, and he makes a spirited run. It ends just inside the 20-metre line, and another penalty goes to Manly. Again within close proximity.
Yeah, good decision here by the referee. McDougall was looking to get a quick play of the ball. I thought there was a flop involved, and then the referee said they were too slow in allowing the man to get up and play the football. Anyway, Paul Stringer, the main culprit.
Haven't seen conditions prior to a game like these at Manly in a long, long time. Ben Walker then at 74%. And down by 2, he gets it away, and it's a nice kick. So straight between the uprights. 4 points all is the score. Nathan Long takes a break. Don't forget to match up with Gus Gould's most valuable player, and you can win $1,000 from Nutrigrain. You simply SMS the full name of your selection to 0428 123 999, and entries closed midday tomorrow. It will be announced on the Sunday Footy Show. Halfway line achieved for Manly, and this is Jensen who takes it to the forwards of South Sydney.
A couple of very strong charges there for Manly. Firstly from Aaron Cannings, he's on in jersey 14. Then Hopewade as Ben Walker looks for a position kick. Isn't that good? An easy job there for Walker, Chris Walker, to bring it back 30 out.
So Shane Walker it was who gave it from dummy half to Willie Peters. And here is Merritt, the try scorer in the match. There's only been the 1 scored, and that was by South Sydney. 2 penalty goals to Manly, and Fletcher puts it down under pressure. Menzies picks it up. Luke Williamson was the tackler on Fletcher. 10 metres into South territory, the Eagles with a chance. And the 14 for Manly is Cannings. Was pointed out by Pete. He's into the game. Brendan Reeves is the number 1 for Manly. Then has gone through Ben Walker. It's out then to King. Ben Walker trails around and the run around and able to stand and offload. King is with the ball again. Now Jason King tries to straighten it up and make some ground and runs into Justin Smith and Paul Stringer. Manly on the attack, 20 metres out, and Ferris it is with the dummy, then the offload. Reeves is there, not held, gets it away. Jensen floats it out wide. Here's a chance for Donald down the left side, but he's taken over the side. No, he's not. He's able to stay in the field of play. Eventually tackled by Chris Walker. To Manly with another chance, and Ferris puts a grubbing kick through. Beautifully picked up, and there's going to be a penalty. Another one to Manly. He's ruled that Ben Walker was taken out by Brian Fletcher, and they will take another kick from a relatively simple position.
Well, these two teams have certainly taken the conditions on today, playing a sparkling brand of football. Some terrific hands out wide. Donald looked as though he's going to get pushed across the sideline, but very determined. Stood his ground, got back inside. McDougall, and from the next kick, well, plenty of players streaming through, and Brian Fletcher there is taking out Cannings, and the referee's pulled him up.
Really close calls to make, but I think he's come up with the correct ones. Certainly nobody from Manly would disagree with him. He's given them 3 kicks from practically right in front, and this should see them take the lead. Ben Walker's online, 3 from 3 for him. 6 points to 4 to score. Manly in front. A quarter of the game gone. Andrew Voss is on the sideline.
And Sterlo was right in the previous set of 6. The Eagles very impressive getting off their line, got back to halfway in quite a hurry, and he mentioned the player Aaron Cannings as well. Had a great impact last week against the Melbourne Storm. Only played 36 minutes, made 18 hit-ups though. It was certainly the best performance he's put in first grade so far, and the Eagles will be looking for more of the same. He's probably the man who'll get it from the kickoff right now.
Justin Smith taking us into this next segment of the game, and it's with Menzies and their good yards out to the 30-metre line for Menzies. Now for Cannings, and a 2-point ball game at the moment with Cannings playing the ball 10 metres from halfway. Here's Hopewadi leaving a couple in his wake as he ploughs through the mud and takes it a couple of metres onto South Sydney's side of the halfway. Here's Ben McDougall. Knights would love to see his brother back sooner rather than later. Ferris going across, and Ben Walker is able to take the tackle and get the ball away. Here's Manly down with about 22 metres between them and the try line, played by Watmo. It's Ferris running with the ball, and he's seemingly got more time to run as the game grows on. Here's Merritt with the ball, tackled about 5 metres out from his own line.
Marker, marker!
Lee Hookey this time. He's pulled down. Rain starting to build away towards the coast, which is practically adjacent to Brookvale. It's Ashley Harrison, the former Bronco. 6-4 Manly. They haven't scored a try. 3 goals to them. A try for South. Stringer now. Mark Chipway in 15 is about to come on for Manly. Shane Walker passing for Willie Peters to kick, and it'll go down towards Scott Donald. Bounces up for him nicely. Reeves is with him. He comes to Craigie, and Craigie makes the tackle. Bazuri coming in over the top. Now Reeves combines again with McDougall, who has a fragile grasp on it. Jason King has had a good start to the game. He goes back to the benches. Hopewadi then comes up towards halfway. Takes the tackle of Stringer. Shane Walker pushed him back down. I thought he might have got a penalty out of that. John Hopewadi. This is Ferris. He's working like an eager beaver, isn't he? He's in everything and pointing at players offside as he gets up to play the ball. Souths have come up with it just outside their own 20-metre line. Played there by Shane Walker. And this is Justin Smith, who's put away 30 metres out from his own line.
And in these kind of conditions, you certainly enhance your prospects if you can play field position, and that's what Manly have done for the last 5 to 10 minutes. As we see Frank Pulatua coming into the game for the South Sydney side. They've had no football over halfway for quite a period of time now.
Here's Peters getting a quick play the ball from his captain. Now he goes across. Oh! Menzies on, and Menzies got him beautifully. Good tackle by Menzies. Now Russo puts it onto the left foot and drives it down to Brendan Reeves, who takes it on the knees, and then it got a bigger rebound than he wanted. He had to urgently go forward before being tackled by Craigie. This is Donald. 3 minutes of the game elapsed. Almost gave himself up there for the defence, didn't he? McDougall, his Hopewadi. Nobody's worked harder than Hopewadi and Ferris in this game so far for Manly. Ferris with it. Here's Williamson, a run that ends a couple of metres from the halfway line. Big John getting back out. He's done his job. He's been figuring in a lot of the hard work coming out of their own territory. His kick has gone way down for Chris Walker. Came off his fingertips. Gone back towards the dead ball. Now he comes back into the field of play. And the chase on the kick was good.
And the kick itself was excellent. So tough to get a heavy ball away. But that's picked up 50 metres for Ben Walker and his side. And again, South Sydney, when they get the footy, it's this end of the field.
That was Bazuri, the first man tackled. This man is Craigie. Now Shane Walker hitting it across to Frank Pulatua. And he plays at 15 metres from the halfway line. Shane Walker to Willie Peters. Charge down. And it comes off South. It's gone forward off the fingers there. Merritt's lost the ball. It's gone over the sideline. So it'll be a scrum feed for Manly, if I've read this correctly. The scrum will pack about 7 metres on south side of halfway. Manly will have the feed.
I think I would have liked Lee Hookey here for South Sydney fans to have caught this ball. Would have been another 6 tackles. A chance to have possession of the football on halfway with a 0 tackle count following the charge down attempt from Manly Sea Eagles. And he virtually just gave the ball away. That's a low percentage play in wet weather like this. And as Peter Sterling said, South haven't seen anything at the other end of the field for quite a while.
Ferris using Ben Walker, and
hands off now.
Kevin McGuinness has seen very little football. He's the sort of player, and I've said it before in commentary, I am a very big fan of Kevin McGuinness, but with his speed and his talent, he should do more of this. He should go in to dummy half, look for work, particularly today, and use those fast legs of his more often. It seems to me like a waste of a unit out there, a kid with that speed and talent, and I can only recall calling him once or twice in the game so far.
Well, Ray, Ben McDougall has had 6 runs in this game to date. That was the first from McGuinness as a chip kick from Manly. Good chases.
And eventually it goes into touch. Chris Walker asking the question of the touch judge. And referee Matt Checken is going to give South Sydney the feed. 10 metres out from their line, the scrum will pack.
Gee, I thought the touch judge here said it came off Chris Walker.
Take it in.
Well, there can be no doubt that both players played at the football.
Well, he's ruled that Chris Walker didn't play at it and was coming across to effect a tackle, and the ball has ricocheted off him into touch. I don't agree, and it's a great tactic in weather like this, those little kicks down the sidelines. You'll see more of that this afternoon.
Interesting point made by Peter Sterling, though. Just what did the touch judge say? Did he agree with the centre man? Here's Fletcher, and it's gone forward. So another scrum will pack. Manly, look at Ferris. He's pumping them up. He knows that they're getting far too many opportunities just presented to them down south end of the field.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, Jason Ferris, in a dummy half, directing the troops. His defensive work around the middle has been good, and he is pumping his team up. This is important to both teams, a game like this today. Mightn't be 2 of the star-studded sides in the competition, but every first-grade game for every player is like a little chunk of gold. You want to be on the winning team.
Manly looking for their 3rd consecutive win. Ben Walker taken down eventually by Lee Hookey about 12 metres into opposition territory. Hopewadi just a handoff to Watmough, and he's tackled 30 metres out from the line. He's just gone infield a bit further, about 20 metres away from the western side. Now they're in the middle of the park. Ben Walker goes back for Menzies. Menzies was ready to unload the pace, I mean. And now the fullback is tackled. He will play the ball, Brendan Reeves. And away it goes from Williamson to Ben Walker again. Back to Menzies again. Now it's across. And Cannings it is that decides to take them on. Cannings is tackled 10 metres out, and that is 5 tackles gone. Hopewadi gives it to Ferris. Ferris puts the kick in. It comes back, and up they go, and it's batted over the dead ball line by South Sydney, so it's a line dropout. And again, Ferris does well. 28 minutes gone. Manly by 2 points. South just swallowing up some time here, sucking in some air. They really, if you had a look at the territory, the situation with the territory in this game and the time in possession, they really have had to defend. They haven't had the football very much at all, and they've been in their own territory for a greater part of the game. Here's Menzies, his 3rd touch in the last 60 seconds. And he's just outside that 10-metre line. They're close, aren't they, Manly? Played by Menzies, Ferris, dummies. Lets 2 decoys go. Ben Walker throws a pass that cuts out a couple. He's gone wide for Kevin McGuinness. I thought he was tackled by Merritt, and then McGuinness tried to play on. He was then told to play the ball. Watmough runs with it. He's 12 metres out. Tackle 5 is there for Manly. Hopewadi then's passing it left to Ben Walker. He puts it up in the air. It's high. The chasers are there. South Sydney mark the ball in goal. Very good takeover there by Bazuri, I fancy, the winger.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure there, especially from Scott Donald, and that is such a relief for his side. I don't think they'd have enjoyed another set of 6 in defence. And now they get an opportunity through Minicello to get the ball 35 out.
Fletcher then. Good tackle that. Ben Walker. Justin Smith taking a short side play. Pulled down by Cannings right on the halfway mark. Now it's across for Willie Peters, and then for Pulatua, who gets it back. And here's Chris Walker, and losing the ball when tackled. Advantage applies for Manly. And that is Scott Donald out there on the left side, who's tackled and put away by Bazuri. So another mistake from Chrissy Walker. And a penalty goes to Manly. He played an advantage, and they never would direct the markers, and the penalty to Manly sees the free kick taken 10 metres into South territory.
And I'll tell you something, Manly Sea Eagles have got to start to get some points for all this field position, because this southern end of the ground is really chopping up, and they've made a mistake here. This southern end of the ground is really chopping up. All the players been down here, and this is the half of the field they're going to have to defend. And now we've got another penalty for back-chatting.
Quiet, just for a sec. I make rulings. That's it. As captains, you can have a chat. Watch the way you do it. The ball was on the ground and it was lost. Go away. Yep. Doesn't matter, mate. He's on the ground.
Coming in.
That's it, man. Go away. Go away. Please say nothing, Steve. You'll play a player short.
Pick on every time.
Steve, no more.
Every week.
Steve, go.
Oh,
go.
Stephen Menzies has gone.
Go.
Stephen Menzies has been sin-bin. Well, the referee had warned both captains and the sin-bin. So they're down a man now for 10 minutes. Not only just a man, the captain, and probably their best player.
He's got a very firm control of this game, checking, but that's a big call to dispatch a guy for 10 minutes, especially when it's the captain up there questioning. He wasn't being disrespectful. I think it's a big call.
Minicello, 20 metres out from the line. Here's a good chance for South. They've got to grab some points in the next 10 minutes. This is like getting a Christmas present early. Peters through. Oh, Harrison's pass looked forward from where I am. And gee, can't they make some mistakes, the Rabbits?
Yeah, very hard, those passes close to the line in these conditions. It was forward anyway. Again, Ferris, the man on the end in defence. He'll pump his team up with the mistake there by the Rabbits. Just going to that point I was making a little bit earlier, this southern end of the ground is really starting to chop up. That's where Manly's going to have to play a lot of their football in the second half. If I were coach Paul Langmack, I wouldn't be unhappy with the scoreline at the moment. And my second half tactics would be just kick, chase, tackle, and wait for the mistakes.
Where do you reckon the Jocks head? Gus, do they stay to the rail or do they go for the better going out wide?
I think the grandstand side of the track's a little better. Rabbits?
Cannings, keep your mind on the job, boys. We lost enough yesterday.
No ollies, boys, no ollies.
McGuinness. Now this is what I want the kid to do. Now he's made a clean break. He's got support coming. He handles it okay. Jensen's on his way, and Jensen will score. Manly have scored with 12 men. No captain, no Menzies. But what happened? McGuinness went to dummy half and went for a run.
Sorry, mate.
Well, we can understand why you want to see more of that, Ray, because he's so good on his feet and has got great speed. And what about the good support play here from Tony Jensen? Missed pretty much all of last season with injury. You wouldn't think so, as he powers away to take the ball around and give a very easy conversion for Ben Walker. Good footwork here to beat the bigger men.
You're wasted in the box, Rabbits. You might be the best commentator, but you've now got your coaching certificate. Get McGuinness into dummy half. Let him have a run, he said.
Yeah.
And the little fella heard him. Well, you can hear Rabbits all over the ground when he commentates. Beautiful play out of dummy half. On to Jensen. This kid's really come on. Got a bad injury last year, but he's come back. Powerful runner. Manly boy. He puts it down under the post, and the Sea Eagles needed that.
And the interchange bench very happy. And the pass, it didn't hit him on the chest either. He had to reach for it a touch. Now I hope we're not bombarding you too much with the conditions here, but they are atrocious.
A break for Manly. The captain missing. They get a converted try. 12-4, 6 minutes to the break.
Stay behind.
The margin between these two is out to 8 now. The greatest the margin has been right through the game has been 2 points, one way or the other. 15 for Manly is Shipway. I saw Solomon Hamono go into this game as well, of course. Solomon was with Canterbury, and then he turned to heavyweight boxing. And now he's trying to rekindle his rugby league career as Souths come up with a bit of free ball. Unnecessary stuff from Manly. They needn't get carried away too much with this 8-point lead. No need to be doing that fancy stuff down your own end of the park. Here's Peters. And Peters is wrapped up by Williamson. Now, can they get some points? That pass from Pulatua back on the inside. It also had a question mark on it to Andrew Hart. They attack close to the line. Peters, grubber kick. Hopewadi, you'll cover it. Well,
he didn't look there, Willie.
Andrew Voss has got a comment from the sideline. Yes, Andrew?
Yeah, just a bit of irony about the sin binning of Stephen Menzies. Peter Sharp has actually, over the past, well, probably 3 weeks since they had their big loss here to the Tigers, has asked for more talk from his players to really talk it up, including his captain. But obviously, the talk there was a little bit astray, not quite what he wanted.
I think what I was trying to say was that I think in that situation, to sin bin a player for back talking, I'd rather hear the ultimatum given and basically the player told, if you keep it up, I will send you. You will go.
I think he did warn him, Pete. I overheard him say something about you'll be down to 12 men if you don't just cop it sweet and go back to your neutral corner.
Oh, well, that's a fair warning. Another mistake here.
Here's what we're talking about. But this I'm not talking about there where he actually put him in the bin. It happened a couple of seconds before the touch judge came in. The touch judge came in and checking on the previous confrontation or consultation with the captains. I heard him say, you'll be down to 12 men unless you just take my instructions, cop it sweet and go back to a neutral corner. I'm paraphrasing, but then Menzies obviously has gone off again.
Lock, stay. Out.
And I think you'll find there was a prior warning to all of that as well. Here's South making a mistake on the earliest of tackles. Now, Manly looking to extend their lead if they can.
He's having an unhappy afternoon, is Mark Minicello. A couple of times he's been in a gap, and the pass has either gone forward or it went to ground, as in that situation, as Watmough is wrapped up.
What a confidence booster for Manly to be able to put on a converted try when down. Now here's Hormono putting it down. So maybe the pendulum is starting to swing a little bit. Pulatua's with it now. Russo across for Craigie, and then Craigie with a very fancy pass in these conditions out to Bazura. Owen, formerly with the Knights. And of course, they lose it again. Well, they're not paying the respect to security that they should be, particularly South.
And plenty of pats on the head there for Solomon Hamono. He was the one who dropped the football in the first place, but he's made up for it. He came in with a good shot there on Stewart, really attacked the ball. He was able to jolt it loose and give his team an opportunity in the last couple of minutes of the first half to extend their lead. Important little period of the game here. If South can get into the dressing room only down 8 points, that's a pretty fair indication of the game. Any more, that might be hard to catch.
So it is McGuinness out in the centres trying to light step, and a penalty has gone to Manly. He played the advantage. He warned them that they were inside the 5 at the scrum. He waved them back, but he did warn them. Then he applied the advantage when McGuinness was unable to take one. That's what that referee decision was all about. Now Hormono. 11 away from the line. At his best, very good player. Well, how long are they going to persist with this tackle? Or how long does it require for the tackle to be made, to become effective? Manly now in the centre of the ground, 9 metres out, played by Hopewadi, and that's a bad pass. Ben Walker's done well. In fact, he's had a good game, Ben Walker. Brendan Reeves up to dummy half. They go to the short side. Ferris puts in a neat little kick. Chris Walker's got work to do. Just finds the dead ball line for him.
Yeah, you've got to be careful in the wet weather. It can pull up very, very quickly. Just got to the line in time, and he danced over the top of it. But it can make a fool of you.
This is Hart. Smith and Hart and Hookie, of course. This is Hookie with the ball now. And Peters, they were all with St George Illawarra. Here's Merritt. And just losing his footing and taking any impact out of what he was planning from dummy half. This is Carney. It's a strange language, our English language, isn't it? This fellow is called Carney. The bloke in Melbourne is called Kearney. Smith is with the ball. Thank God there's a few of them still left. Now Hookie. Hart. No, it's not. That's Russo. Russo back for Merritt. Merritt slides away, puts a kick in. Picked up back there by McGuinness for Manly. And he will play the ball 12 metres out from his own line.
Yeah, good play there by Jamie Russo. Faked a kick on tackle 5, went to the line, turned it back on the inside. Really caught them napping around the middle of the ruck. Just shaped a kick, held it up, and found Merritt waiting back on the inside. He couldn't chase his own kick, otherwise it may have been a little more dangerous.
So it is half-time here at Brookie. Manly leading by 12 points to 4. There's been 2 tries in the match. 1 to either side, but Manly's Ben Walker with the boot has given them this ascendancy. They are playing with 12 men. That will continue for a minute or so in the second half with Steve Menzies doing time in the sin bin. We will take a break. Manly leading South Sydney by 8 points at half-time. Chairman of the board down there with the boys on the bench smelling the liniment.
Stay behind.
Half cocky, doesn't it? Leading by 8. Can the Rabbits come back? As we certainly welcome you back to our telecast on this Sunday afternoon. That is Frank Pulatua.
Hands off.
Carrying the leather back about 18 metres off his own line. They've got to do... Oh, that's a good tackle on Andrew Hart. Who was it? It was Solomon Homono. Down low, and he really jolted him up. Here's Fletcher. Out to the 30. 12-4 then the score. Manly with a matter of seconds remaining before getting their captain back, and there he is now. Stephen Menzies back from the bin. Probably the most controversial part of the first half was his sending from the field for the 10 minutes. This is Brendan Reeves. Now Manly probably will use a lot of their little quick men to get away from down their own end of the park. They've got this 8-point buffer. They don't need to do anything flash at all down here. And here's Hopewadi now in a fresh jumper. So Donald the first play, Hopewadi the second. And now Ferris is looking around for a forward runner. He doesn't have to. There's a penalty. And Russo is penalised. And now back chatting, he's advanced the mark. Doesn't count as another penalty, but it is described as advancing the point of the first penalty. As Williamson uses Solomon Homono. 35 away from the South Sydney line, and South, through the penalty, have given Manly an easy carriage out of their own end of the ground. This is Jensen who got their try. Williamson for Walker. Oh, held it back, double pumped it. Watmough is heading for the corner. Watmough scores for Manly. That's exactly what they wanted. There is a discussion taking place between the referee and the touch judge. They are going to the video ref.
Check the grounding. Is that right, Jim?
Not quite sure. It might be the grounding, according to what I'm hearing.
He was sliding towards the end goal. I guess the linesman wants to see whether or not any part of him went dead in goal before the ball went down. And no worries.
The leg belongs to Chris Walker. The only part of the anatomy I can see over the sideline is that of Chris Walker.
Yeah, I can see what the linesman was talking about, because he did have the arm extended out and the vision for the linesman was impaired. And he just wanted to see whether or not that hand went dead in goal before the ball hit the ground. But I'm satisfied with that. We'll get a try and a great start to the Sea Eagles. It was a little bit of Cliffy Lyons play. The old Cliffy Lyons on the edges of the ruck, who held the ball beautifully up for this player. Watmough, the dummy wide, the close ball. Beautiful football there from Ben Walker. And Watmough, a free passage to the line and did well. Watch this. Hold it up, late ball. Straight into the spot.
Yeah, you can see Brian Fletcher get attracted in by the ball carrier and his outside defender staying with his man. And sometimes the outside defender's not even looking at who's carrying the football, and that's why you see gaps appear. You can't just be concerned with who you may be taking. You keep an eye on. He's a fine young player.
A couple of kids, Claudia and Jake. Claudia 3, she'll be doing plenty of cheering. I don't know about Jake. Gee, I saw a familiar face up in the crowd leading the booing. I think he works for the Footy Show. Now I know who's leading the hecklers. Here is Ben Walker from touch. He laid this try together. Oh, that's a great kick. That is a beauty. Ben Walker, on a day like today, converts. One more time.
Well, this takes you back a couple of seasons where I'm sure he was the leading point scorer in the NRL competition. And that's evidence of why.
Sideline comment from Andrew.
Oh, you've got to wrap the fans too, aren't they, getting behind their team? They love that kick. Went right over the Xbox black dot from Ben Walker, and suddenly the crowd is into the game. The Rabbitohs right up against it in this second half. And really the halftime address of Paul Langmack, well, they do have to play wet weather football, but at some point with that scoring margin now down on the scoreboard, they're going to have to probably chance their arm down by 14. I mean, Paul Langmack wanted his side to be more patient, get to the end of his sets, but they're going to have to do just a little bit more than that now.
So they've made a mistake here. Shipway losing the ball. And who do you think the first man to him to encourage him and pick him up? It's Jason Ferris. He's done a lot of that today. Bit of captain material, I think, in Jason. Ball played by Chris Walker. There's no better time than now for South. Oh, they've lost it again. Referee said that they're
Dropped out as soon as he hit the ground.
just an absolute give up by Frank Pulatua. There wasn't a steal. Frank might disagree. And it is going to be a scrum 10 metres away from the Manly line.
I know we've said it before, but Jason Ferris gathered all his troops around there again, patting them on the head, cheering and revving them up. Plenty of spirit being shown here by the Manly side today.
Papawati now. And this is Hormono. A lot of strength, of course, in the upper part of the legs from Hormono. He's able to still make ground even when 2 and 3 are hanging on to him. Menzies that time. Ferris's pass taken in by Hopewadi. Geez, he's done some work coming out of his own danger zone. They used to call it the red zone in Super League. But Hopewadi's really given them another forward. Ferris plays it. And now Walker. He's been very, very good today, Ben Walker. I think Jason Ferris has been, and so has John Hopewadi. But Ben Walker's played well. Here's his brother, Chris.
I'll tell you what I do like the look of, Ray, and that's the Manly back row. Remember back a few seasons when they were all fit, just how well they've gone backwards to
Well, he's given
Manly side.
possession to Manly, Pete. I don't know whether there was a steal or not in there, but it's given Manly a tremendous advantage. They're 12 in front. They're 12 out from the line. And here they are on the early part of this tackle count with Shipway to play it. Williamson's a dummy half. Ben Walker, now Jason Ferris, and knocked down by Owen Craigie. So they'll go back for the knock-on. It'll be a scrum, and they will have another set of 6 tackles, Manly, from about 15 out.
He can take an intercept, Owen Craig. He'd be disappointed he didn't gather that one in. I was making the point about the back row, and Steve Menzies was one of the players I was going to talk about. Nick Kosef, Daniel Gartner, only a couple of years ago, injury-free, outstanding for them. Gee, these 2 second rows along with Menzie, Mo and Tony Jensen, the try scorers today, they might be able to do something for this club in seasons to come as well.
Here's McGuinness, held 15 metres out from the South Sydney line. Ben Walker's gone out to the short side. They hit that side, and Walker tries to go through the middle himself. So Williamson is forced out of the road. Hopewadi decides to, I thought he was going to run, but he passes for Ferris, and then it comes away. It's gone to ground. It'll be cleaned up back there by Brendan Reeves, but there's been a knock-on. And the scrum will go down with South Sydney having the feed, so the pressure will come off them somewhat.
Yeah, they've been their own worst enemy, South Sydney. You know, 6 or 7 minutes before half-time, they were down by only 6 points to 4, and it wasn't too bad. And all of a sudden, there's been 3 tries or 2 tries in the space of 10 minutes, and 18 to 4 is a big scoreline to come back in conditions like this.
Wait.
Bajuri. 25 out from his own line. Chris Walker, you would have seen after playing the ball, having acknowledged that's a tremendous tackle by Hormono. He really hit Andrew Hart with a corker of a tackle. Now Craigie on his own 40. Carney's pass finds Peters. Peters sends it straight down the ground, and like a magnet it goes to Brendan Reeves, and then Craigie goes down and swats him, puts him away. Here's Donald coming in from the wing to do a run, and they must do more of that. Hopewadi running, showing the ball, and just fooling them for a couple of strides. He gets it out to the 40-metre line now. Jason Ferris this time. Williamson, they go back and across to the short side. Hopewadi lays it back. They clean it up, and it is there with Watmo. Ball went backwards. Williamson, and then Ben Walker gets a kick in, but his brother is right there, takes it on the feet, and now Chris Walker comes back at the cross, and then a very good tackle again by Hormono. Pat on the backside from his captain Menzies. Bajuri. Stringer. Just short of halfway. Carney for Fletcher. Fletcher on for Stewart. And there's the sound of the whistle. And it seemed like there's a hand on the football as the ruling, so it's a penalty going to Souths. They'll find touch, and they'll take a free kick somewhere around about the 30-metre line. And we'll go to Andrew in a moment as soon as the pressure comes off Manly, because he's going to be talking to Paul Vaughton, and I don't think Fatty would want to be talking to us right now.
Gee, that was close to forward, wasn't it? Carney on to Stringer. Chance here.
Fletcher getting plenty of metres. He's only 8 metres away from the line now. Can the Rabbits pile a try on? It's out to Russo. They go back to Chris Walker, and it was McDougall who came up out of the line and made the tackle. It was a tackle he had to make. Craigie's pass goes to ground, picked up on the bounce, and it is away then from Craigie again. They're heading for the corner. Hookie gets it on for Merritt. Merritt's gone in. Did the corner post go? Referee consults the touch judge. They are going to the video referee.
Well, that can be the only concern, the grounding of the football. The lead-up was very good. Some nice hands from a couple of players to get the ball finally to Merritt. Everything looks fine there. Let's have a look at the leg trailing. No dramas whatsoever.
So this is a very similar decision to the one Michael Stone had to make up the other end of the park a few minutes ago, and it is a try, and his second try of the game for Nathan Merritt, the South Sydney wing three-quarter.
Yeah, good work here from Justin Smith, who takes the bouncing ball. It's a nice little offload to Owen Craig, and great hands there from Lee Hookie to set up his winger, who gets down low.
Yeah, great work here. Owen Craigie came across the field. He threw a bad pass, beautifully picked up by Smith. Good hands, great hands there from Lee Hookie. And he's a try scorer. He knows to get down low so he can't get bustled out over the touchline, and he just squeezes it in.
And the kick at goal is unsuccessful. So 18 points to 8 is the new scoreboard. 52nd minute of the game. Andrews sidelined with the Manly chairman.
Yeah, with the chairman, Ray. I can't call him Paul, I'll just refer to him as chairperson, chairman. This is just like the old days. We talked about it on the footy show this morning, but Manly v South Sydney.
Doesn't get any better than this, and it's a rainy day, but it's not a bad crowd for a wet day. It's been a pretty enthralling game. The skill level's probably not what it would be in dry weather, but in the first half I thought Manly played a really good wet weather game to get to that lead, and I think they've gone away from that the first 10 minutes of the second half. South continue to try and play dry weather football, so we just got to hang in there get back to our tactics in the first half.
What has really been noticeable, though, from the Manly players today, the spirit on show, and it's visible there. Anthony Watmough, when he goes over for the try, Jason Ferris in there, lots of backslapping.
No, it's been tremendous the last 3 weeks in particular. After that debacle here against the West Tigers 3 weeks ago, been a lot of soul searching, a lot of talk, and they've turned it around, and now they're a real team. And whenever something good happens, there's always someone there to congratulate. It's really turned the whole club around.
All right, Paul, I'll let you get back in the dry. Thanks, mate.
The penalty going to South here. No, not happy with the ruling. There were 2 in the tackle. Did he steal the ball, or was he in fact attacking the football? In fact, he has raked the ball out, and then a player in an offside position picking it up. So South get the penalty. Paul Stringer. In fact, it was a good passage of play for South as Jensen leaves the field. Puletua to Fletcher, and Fletcher got away from that tackle from Ben Walker. 25 metres out from the Manly line. Shane Walker, Willie Peters, inside ball for Luke Stewart, and that ball has gone to ground again.
Now, you've got to watch your ball carry, haven't you? Every time you come into a collision, you've got to make sure you secure the football, and that was a collision. I mean, I'm not saying it's not tough stuff, but you've just got to hold on to possession for your team.
It's killing them, isn't it, South Sydney? They're just not giving themselves a chance. They're well in this game. They look good with the football in patches. They're just giving the opposition the ball back on far too many occasions.
Here's Hopewadi, continuing to do what he's been doing all day, using most of his petrol up that end of the park. Ferris back for Solomon Homono. Peter made the point that they have looked good in patches. The attacking play they put together to get down that other end of the park just on that previous set was as good as we've seen today. Here is McDougall. And McDougall almost to the 30-metre line. What's the trouble with Jensen, Andrew?
Yeah, early reporters not good. They fear maybe a partial dislocation to his right shoulder, so not good. He's in the dressing rooms now.
Walker's kick. Back in the end, Galbajiri. Can he get it back? No, well, he's put it on the line. He's put it on the line. That's not good enough.
Desperation.
Shane Walker.
I've got it. It's out there. Good. We're in it. What's Shane Walker thinking? What in God is he thinking? How did he think he was going to get away with that?
Stay behind.
So the line dropout. It's a very good kick on a wet day. I think it was Andrew Hart who actually took the kick. King,
Let go.
33 metres out from the South's line. Hopewadi gets rid of Willie Peters. Peters goes back after him again like a faithful dog. He chases and makes the tackle. Now Watmough. Bang down. Good hard tackle by Stringer and Puletua. Now Walker. Walker dummies to Homono. He's tackled by Smith, the number 12. Now Ferris. He's got runners everywhere. Ferris, he's tackled a metre out. Tackle 5 is with us. Williamson is the dummy half. Out it goes for Ben Walker. He puts a kick in. It's rolling around, and he's got the second best result. Now there's a flare-up. Chris Walker's gone in. Punches are flying. Words are being exchanged.
I've seen it the same way. I've also heard from the touchy, okay? You've got to let me control the football game. By you coming in and throwing punches, you're taking it out of control. Come here. Can't do it. It's going on report. Thank you.
Chris Walker, he continues his running feud with the referee, and there'll only ever be one winner in that case. This is what happened.
Yeah, well, Chris Walker thought that Jason King had come in late after the ball had been secured. I don't think there was too much in it. He's certainly come here with a bee in his bonnet this afternoon, Chris Walker, and needs to be very careful that he does finish this game.
Well, he's conceded another penalty, and again from right in front, and from memory he did the same up the other end of the park in the first half.
See, Jason King's got every right to go in and make that tackle. because the man had every right to get up and run the football out. He hadn't been secured.
So Ben Walker, I don't think he's had too many easier days at the office. He gets another penalty, another 2 points. 20-8 Manly lead Souths. Walker's only had one difficult job here today, and he carried it out 100%. Chris Walker is having a horror day. He can't win the argument with the ref. He's given at least 4 points away. And Paul Langmack looks at him as if to say, why? Why did you do that? Andrew, sideline.
I've got to say, Ray, my opinion differs to Sterlo's a little bit. Crowd not happy with that restart, but I thought Jason King probably didn't have right to come in on the tackle. I thought the ball had been forced in goal for a line dropout. The fact that a Manly player was around the legs of the man on the ground. Sure, that doesn't condone Chris Walker taking the action he did, but I think Jason King might have been a little lucky as well.
Here is King with the ball now.
South's a little bit lucky from that restart as well. They had about 6 players in front of the kicker. Just little things you've got to pay attention to win football games.
Yeah, there's what Peter's talking about. And that's something that really annoys spectators. Here is Watmo. He's very fast and he's made another good run, but then he undoes it all by dropping the ball. Referee applied the advantage. It could only go to South. It didn't. So he would put a scrum down about 15 on the south side of halfway. Scored a try today, Watmo. He didn't have ball security uppermost in his mind there. Both of these second rowers have picked up a try for Manly today, and they're both very fast. We've got a score coming through from the New Zealand game. I'm just looking, the note handed to me says 28-14 Penrith. I'm just double checking. Here's a good run made by Frank Pulatua for South Sydney. 28-14. Penrith have beaten the Warriors. That is a major upset. And Gus Gould on the footy show today told us to get on the Panthers. Did he have the inside oil again? The Gus man. 20-8 Manly lead here. Now it is with Peters and then, Russo. Well, that's Homono again. He's rattled them up about 6 times in the game with legitimate tackles. Beautiful stuff. This will go dead. Solomon Homono. Here he is again. And just good, vigorous, out of the manual type tackling from Homono. Here's McGuinness, getting very dark at Brookie. We started with the lights on. And of course on TV it's probably looking brighter than it really is. Williamson, just outside the 40-metre line. Now Reeves. And Shane Walker and Brian Fletcher make the tackle. Stringer comes in over the top. Ferris unloads. Ben Walker runs. Jason King supports. And Jason will play the ball about 35 metres out on a 44-metre gain on the 5 tackles. And Merritt knocked on there. This will be a Manly feed. Nathan Merritt's played at the football, knocked on. And was it a little kick from Ferris? Well, it's come off his feet, and then he's found that little knock on in there. Now another sin bin. It's Fletcher, the captain of Souths. Brian Fletcher, the captain of Souths. He's been sin bin, so both the captains have done time in the bin. Fletcher approached the referee. And then bang. It seemed to be as though they were on nice speaking terms.
Well, it's quite extraordinary. At the start of the year at the coaches' conference, the coaches were warned to warn their players that referees would not tolerate back chatting from anyone, and you would be marched 10 metres. It was also stipulated that captains, if they want to address the referee, to do so at a break in play, to do so at a scrum, or to do so after someone has received a caution. Now, both Steve Menzies and Brian Fletcher have approached the referee during a break in play, which I would think is within the guidelines set down at the start of the year. But Matt Gesson has decided to send both players off.
And neither appeared abusive.
No.
So Ben Walker with another shot and another success. What a day off the boot for Ben Walker. General play has been great. 22-8, he's got 7 from 7. What a contribution in conditions such as today. And the face of Andrew Hart typifies the feeling in the South Sydney camp. Well, just what Matt Cecchin, the referee, is doing out there, I'm not sure, but it does seem that both captains have approached him with respectability. There hasn't been any what appears to be ranting and raving and being abusive, and both have been sent to the bin. Here's Hormono.
2, hands off, let go, wait. 3,
Manly, now you would think reasonably comfortable.
4, hands off, dominant.
Ferris, Williamson.
Last tackle, roll away now.
Here's Ben Walker looking for a little kick for McGuinness. McGuinness gets a good pick up. McGuinness puts in a central kick. The ball goes down to Chris Walker. Brilliantly taken by the South fullback, but the touch judge has advised his centre man that I believe McGuinness may have put a foot into touch, has he? McGuinness has just got a little touch on the sideline. So we've gone way back down the ground for the scrum, 30 metres away from the South Sydney line. Well, there's a brilliant piece of play, if you allow for what McGuinness did wrong. Now, can South do what Manly did? Without their captain, they scored. Here is Peters. Through from Smith. It's gone from Walker. Through the hands of Craigie. That was all okay. There was nothing forward. And it's Bajuri who plays the ball. 10 metres into Manly's half. Now, it is the 13 for South Sydney. Ashley Harrison who plays the ball. 33 metres out from the line. They come to the right for Owen Craigie. And Craigie is held by 3 Manly defenders, including Ferris and Menzies. Out from Shane Walker. In for Willie Peters. Up the middle goes Stringer. Gets away from Williamson. Is held by Cannings. 5 tackles gone against the Rabbits. Shane Walker tries to generate something, but Harrison is claimed with the football, and it'll be a turnover for Manly.
Wait. I'll wait.
Referee.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Play the ball. Where you are. Come on, back it up. Go.
Just calling from to play the ball again.
And South Sydney have reacted to their captain being sin-binned with plenty of intensity.
Play on.
Some strong defence. Although they gave the football away at the end of that set of 6 in attack, they've lifted to the occasion, to the challenge that's been posed their way. The problem is that they're running out of time.
22-8. And repeating the news that Penrith
Ball. Work. Come on, work.
beaten the Warriors.
Hold, mate. Hold.
Walker kicking it down the ground. His brother knocks on. I fancy it is a knock on.
Hit the ground and then you kick
Well, Paul Langmack's head goes down for the 18th time. And a knock on has been made by him.
Ben, Jason.
A look of disbelief on his face. He's had an unhappy day. Can't win an argument. And his own game way down on what we've come to expect from him. Now, this is Brendan Reeves playing the ball back to McDougall. He gets away from Harrison. Is confronted there by Luke Stewart in 15, and Andrew Hart, or Russo it was. Here's Walker again. Nice ball. Back to McGuinness, back to Williamson inside the 20. And Williamson will play the ball. Playing it back for Hopewadi. Goes straight to Ben Walker. Goes to the 10-metre line. McDougall trails through. And he will play the ball when allowed to get up by Stringer. Williamson, then to Walker. Out in front of Ferris. Did well, got it away, no hands on him, so he's able to do that. Menzies, he puts in a kick. McGuinness is after it like a little rabbit, but it is a rabbit in the shape of Merritt, who sends it dead. 22-8. 22-8 continues our scoreboard.
Rabbit race, haven't seen one for a long time. Kick there from Menzies. There's a couple of little rabbits, look at this. Rabbit in red and green wins the race.
Tearing through, wasn't he?
He's been good this afternoon, Nathan Merritt. A fine game for them when they beat the Tigers a couple of weeks ago at fullback. He's been on the wing today, but he's shown good awareness. Not easy to turn and chase in these conditions, especially against speedmen, but he did it well against McGuinness as Jason King lines up and takes it inside the 30, still going.
12 minutes of the game remaining. And here is Watmoe. Manly now offering a mistake of their own through Shipway. Played by Paul Stringer. This is Bajuri taking this run from inside the 20. Let's go to the sideline, Andrew.
Yeah, interesting message just went out via the trainers from Manly coach Peter Sharp, is to watch the intercept now as we get down to this final 11.5 minutes, and in particular when it gets down the left side of the Manly attack. They're worried about Owen Craigie. He's creeping up into that danger zone looking to snatch a pass. I mean, South do need a miracle now, and an intercept would certainly help.
There's the ball going back to Justin Smith. He juggled, got the ball in though, and here's Hookie now getting it away. Shane Walker lofts the ball across to Ashley Harrison. Groan from the crowd. They thought the pass was forward to Andrew Hart. Played now on the halfway line. South Sydney on the attack. Here's Merritt, the scorer of 2 tries. Tackle just inside the 30. They keep it going. Shane Walker tackled by an offside player. McGuinness is penalised.
Passive obstruction. Passive.
So the Rabbitohs taking the quick penalty.
Hell, play where you are, where you are.
10 metres out from the line. Hart played it. Peters runs with it. Links up with his lock forward. Harrison.
Let go.
Harrison to play the ball for Souths. Played back to Peters. Peters thinking about having a dig himself.
Wait.
22-8, a wasted tackle really. Now Carney. This is Craigie. And Craigie, who played a big part on the second try for Souths, is tackled. 9 out from the line. Here's Carney. He'll go over, and Carney scores for South Sydney.
And finally some joy for Paul Langmack, who has come down to the sideline. You saw him down there a little while back. Wants to be down there closer to the action. And just a bit of fatigue there in the defence from the Manly side. He's a will-o'-the-wisp kind of player. And now both sides have scored tries while they've had players in the sin bin. And there is still time for South Sydney. They can control things in the final moments of this game.
He's a player that's always probing, Carney, and a few of the South Sydney fans that were making their way closer to the exit looking for a quick getaway have turned around and walked back onto the hill and said, well, just watch for another couple of minutes and see what happens. It's not over yet.
This is a very big kick here from Owen Craigie.
10 metres in from touch. He's got it. Craigie converts the try, the 3rd South Sydney try. They've scored 3 tries to 2. They trail 22-14 with 9 to go. Manly playing Souths for the first time since 1999. And it is Manly guarding a 22-14 lead. And don't forget the $1,000 from Nutrigrain. You can win that. Match up with Phil Gould's choice of MVP for the game. And SMS the full name of your selection to 0428 123 999. Entries close midday tomorrow, and the winner will be announced on the Sunday Footy Show. Peter?
And with 8 points, the margin now, South Sydney always had to score another 2 tries. It means that they can score tries, or those tries, and not have them converted to take this to extra time. as Donald doesn't want to play at that.
Up South, thank you.
And it's come off South Sydney.
So the feed goes to Manly.
And if they do lose this game, South Sydney, I mean, they've scored 3 tries to 2. It's only their own ill discipline. The penalties are 8-6 in favour of Manly, which is not a big margin, but they've kicked 5 penalty goals. 5 kicks within distance. Penalties for ill discipline by South Sydney. It's a lot of points to give away on a day like this. As I say, they've only got themselves to blame if they finish on the wrong end of the scoreboard.
And this is where the cool heads in the Manly side need to look at the clock. No, there's 8 minutes to go. They can expect their opponents to only have 4, possibly 5 more possessions. And you just tell your teammates, okay, let's work through those 4, let's work through those 5 in defence, and we'll win this game.
Hopoate. He's been a real foundation here today for them, as I'm told he has been practically right through the season. Cannings. Oh, gee, that's a good ball. Reeves was there. Now Gawn it was, it's on the field. Ben McDougall, he's got Donald flashing up on the inside, tries to put a kick in, came off South, picked up by Dawn. Dawn in number 6 is tackled 11 metres out from the line. Reeves a dummy half. Now Hamona goes for a charge and is held and will be made to play the ball a few metres from the line. Here's Ferris. He puts a kick in. It came off South Sydney's Carney. Ferris got the ball away. Walker is with it. And the referee says, don't stop, play on. Walker to play the ball 9 metres out from the line.
And that was 6 again. The ball was played at when it was kicked by Manly.
Ferris then goes back and picks up Watmo, who claimed a try earlier today. Both second rowers for Manly picking up a try. Ferris, dummy half, away to the right, to the short side for Walker. Walker stung there by an accidental hit on the face. Plays it back to Ferris. Here's Hopoate. Comes in, tries to bump away from Carney. Carney hangs on with Shane Walker and Fletcher, and he'll play the ball right in front of the uprights. Ferris, dummies, goes back, one-handed pass. Walker puts a kick in. Chris Walker knocks on. Here's another try. This time McGuinness. McGuinness has scored for Manly. That is the ball game. He wants to have a look at it. It looked okay. Was McGuinness onside?
Yeah, that's the only concern in the referee's mind, is whether Kevin McGuinness was behind the kicker. But Chris Walker, yeah, well, that's fine. He's the widest man coming across now. I'm sure that when Chris Walker gets this tape, it's one he won't keep in his collection for too long.
He's not going to enjoy, that's for sure. And Kevin McGuinness scores a try. He had a part in an earlier one. He's not involved himself very highly, but every time he has, he's made an impact.
That's a try. And with John Hopoate virtually spending the whole game in the middle of the field, hitting it up from dummy half and playing as an extra forward, Kevin McGuinness looks as though he plays as a winger. There he is, way out to your right. Comes through, Walker picked it up, thought about going the length himself, but you can't do it without the football. And a miserable afternoon just got worse for him. Ferris has been very, very busy. Ben Walker's had a good role. The halves had to play well today for Manly to get home. And Walker tried to pick it up on the run. He could see himself going the distance if he got it on the fly. And McGuinness had come in from the right wing to put it under the post.
Sorry, Gus, in his defence, I suppose you probably do try that. With, you know you've got to score twice, and then you know there's 4 or 5 minutes on the clock.
So Ben Walker keeps his record intact. What's that, 8 from 8? 8 from 8 for Ben Walker, 28-14, and another look at it.
Yeah, good play in here. You see Walker here is going to try and pick it up on the fly, and no, Peter, I never thought about it, because I knew I wasn't going to go the 100 metres, but he thinks he can. He took the odds to it. His team needed a try. He threw a tail today because it came up a try for the opposition.
Just over 4 minutes of this game remaining. Next Friday night, we go back to Parramatta Stadium, and the Eels taking on the Roosters again. This is their second meeting this year, and they meet at Parramatta Stadium next Friday. We'll televise that. And Next Sunday we go down to Cogra for the return to Cogra. Here's Chris Walker looking to put it in the corner. Plenty of speed, loses his footing, gets the ball back for Craigie. I don't know what happened there. He put his foot in the divot. Here's a kick through. They might score. They do. South Sydney are in. Brian Fletcher, the captain, has scored. But it was all happening so quickly. 28-18, though, is the score. What happened to Walker, Pete?
He trips over, but still gets a flick pass away. It's incredible. Look at that. And then very good thinking here, knowing that the fullback had just made that tackle. So Carney puts it through, and Brian Fletcher, still with a spring in his step late in this game, led the chasers.
As I said before, he's a pro, Carney. Quick thinker. As Justin Smith lines up the kick for goal, Fletcher gets through. He's had a bit of time in the sin bin. But all too late for the Rabbitohs. Smith converts a try.
So 28 points to 20. There's only a little under 3 minutes of the game remaining. The captain scoring a try. And Paul Langback looking up at that board. And when he gets the stats on the game and all the rest of it, and he probably doesn't even need them, he knows that they basically gave Manly, I think Gus said something like 10 points in penalties. At one stage, Ben Walker was just getting penalty after penalty almost on parts of the ground where you could have thrown it over. And he's done more than thrown it over. He's kicked it over 8 out of 8 today, so he's had a very big contribution. 4 tries to 3 Souths have scored in this, what is going to be a loss to Manly. Clock coming up to the 78th minute as Lee Hookey tries to break free from Cannings. He's held by Ben Walker. And the Rabbits, next week they play Canberra at Aussie Stadium on Saturday night, while Manly will take on Penrith, the Giant Killers, at Penrith next Saturday night. Kick through, picked up and taken into touch by Brendan Reeves. I'm not taking any chances, he said. And the scrum will pack about 30 metres out from the Manly line. It'll be a South Sydney feed.
Yeah, a couple of chases were offside there, but Reeves just takes it over the sideline. And Peter Sharp has thought his way through this game. He's actually played with just the 16 players for everything until the last 10 minutes. Luke Dawn only coming in very, very late. He's watched the progress and been happy with the players that he was utilising for that major part of the game.
Shane Walker, now Ashley Harrison, gets it back for Willie Peters. Peters doing a circle before going ahead, tackled by Ben Walker. They're 15 out from the line. Now the kick ahead. A bit of work to be done, but Manly run it dead. And they're quite happy to have the line drop out and give the ball back to South Sydney for another try. Oh, Joe, he didn't take long to call time out, did he, the referee, on that occasion?
Well, he did it because the Manly player throws the football away.
OK, fair enough. There he is, the president, rooting for Manly, and Paul likewise for Souths. And our timepiece shows that there's only 40 seconds of the game remaining. South Sydney still needing to score a couple of tries to win the game, so that's an impossibility. I suppose they'll take out of this game the fact that they did score 4 tries to 3. And here's Merritt putting a kick in. Kicked again by South Sydney. Manly have got the ball, and that will be the ball game. This will be their last use of the football, either team. John Hopewadi taking the tackle there of Justin Smith, 10 metres out from the Manly line. Lights on, as I said, been on all day, getting very dark as Hopper gets up very, very gingerly to play the football.
It's a penalty. Time wasting.
A penalty's been given to Souths. So now, those that have done a bit of betting and taken point start and what have you, they're wondering, can they get a 6-pointer here?
Go for the try, fellas, please.
Well, he better not kick for goal, and I think he's back with a 6.5 start.
So South take the penalty. They kick it right across the ground. Craigie puts the ball on the ground. Chris Walker kicks it over the dead ball line accidentally and probably appropriately, but that is the end of the game. Manly have beaten South Sydney 28-20, and Manly have now won 3 matches consecutively in the 2003 Telstra Premiership. First time they've won 3 in a row since 1999. 28-20, the full-time score at Brookie between the Eagles and the Rabbits.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.